Hi everyone, this is Brandy from Exploring Expression,
And I'm Joshua from Exploring Expression.
and welcome to a product spotlight. Now, product spotlight is that series where we share some things that we've used or tried or tested or played with you, and we give our honest review on what we thought of them and how we used them. And have we got a doozy for you today? But before we do,
You need to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and comment what your favorite thing about nature is.
oh, that's a good one. Favorite thing about nature. And why is that a good comment today? You should ask. Because we are reviewing Nature Fluxx. So we've been studying all sorts of. We did oceans, and now we're getting ready to do sky. And we've been studying the natural world for a while now. Um, Honestly, completely randomly. It's just we do our unit studies for what the boys feel like learning about, and they've been all about nature lately. And this has been a fantastic game that has helped us and that we played during this study. One of the things I like about card games is that they're portable. And as we begin to enter our travel season, starting this month and
Yeah.
moving forward, I'm not exactly sure when this video will air, but whenever it airs, we'll probably already be in the Exploring Expression travel season. And you can be assured, games like this, the Flux games, the Minecraft game, Flipping Flags game, which we have a review on, um, also on this channel. These types of games are perfect for sticking in our suitcase to play in a hotel room. So let's talk about how this game is played. Josh, you want to go over the 5 types of cards for that specific to Nature Fluxx?
Mm-hmm. So we have action, we have creeper, we have rule cards, we have goal cards, and we have creeper card. I mean keeper
Keep your
cards.
cards. So the basic premise of Flux is that as you are playing the game and the game is going on, all of the rules are changing all of the time. So the rules change all the time. The goal change, how to win the game changes all the time. Basically, the entire game is like a chameleon. It's changing its spots and changing its colors throughout the entire game, which means that this game can last 10 minutes or this game can last an hour. We have had it both ways. So if you really are tight on time, this is not a game I recommend you play. However, um, it's a fantastic game, and it's a great one for the end of the evening. I think
Mm-hmm.
where if it runs a little long, which it may, like I said, it may be over in a few turns, and it may be an hour. Um, it's still worth it. It's still worth it. So what you start with for this one is the basic rules card. And Joshua, tell them what the basic rules are.
Basic rules are when you play, you draw one and you play one,
Mhm.
and then it's the end of your turn.
So each player starts the game with 3 cards. It's 3 cards? Yes.
Yes.
And so as you go around, you draw 1 card, you play 1 card. But let's talk about some of the different types of cards and how you would play them. Start with the keepers.
So keepers are the cards that you can draw and that you need to finish the game or complete the goal. So you have worms right here, you have cave, you got insects, and you got what is it? Right here. You got sunshine.
And there's a whole bunch of different
Yeah.
types of keeper cards. Those are what you use to complete your goal. So
Mm-hmm.
what is the goal of the game?
The goal of the game is to get these tasks completed. Like earth like mammals is any 3 bats, rabbits, bears, and mice. Or you have earthworms. You need dirt and worms.
And those are your keeper cards. You need to
Yeah.
collect your keeper cards. One of the interesting things is when you start this game, you don't start with any goals. So until somebody plays a gold card, there's no way to win this game. So if all the people just held the gold cards in their hand and never played, you could never ever end the game. However, that doesn't happen because gold cards, they're probably one of the fastest changing things of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Because as you're laying your keepers out in front of you, you may not have any of those for the goal. That's the current goal. You just throw another goal down there, and then the whole game changes. And maybe it changes in your favor, and maybe it doesn't. But as long as you are following the rules, you have a chance. Except there's a catch. Talk about the rule cards.
The rule cards are like you have a hand limit of 3. That means you can only have 3 cards at the end of your turn. At end of your turn.
In your hand.
In your hand.
So what do you do with if you have extra cards?
You have to discard them.
Right.
Of your choice.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have like keeper limit of 4. That means when you get a keeper and you play it, you can only play 4 in total.
Mm-hmm.
Or you have draw 3. Where at the beginning of the turn, instead of drawing 1, you draw 3.
And anytime you play a rule that contradicts a previous rule, it just overrides it and that previous rule is thrown out. So you can stack rows. You can have like 5 or 6 rules going at once, but then you can start replacing rules randomly in there. Instead of draw 3, maybe it's draw 4, or draw 5, or draw 1. Instead of playing 1, instead of draw 1, play 1, maybe it's play 4, or play all. Or maybe you have to discard all of them by the end of your turn. So, not only is the goals changing, but the rules are changing. How many you draw, how many you play, how many you can have, how many you can do anything with. Now, in addition to that, we have actions.
Actions. So, let me show you this one. It's rules reset. Basically, it's reset to basic rule. So all the rule cards you've played, they all get discarded, and you go back to play 1 and draw 1.
Mm-hmm. These are sort of, if you're familiar with like Monopoly, these would sort of be like your community chest or chance.
Yeah.
That there's special things that you could do or you can play. You can play actions at any time. You can hold them in your hand and play them at any time. One thing that's been specific to this Fluxx, which we didn't have on Chemistry Fluxx, which we also love, are these creeper cards.
Creeper cards, like Forest Fire. This is nobody can win while this card is in play.
Mm-hmm.
If you have this at the start of your turn, you have to discard a keeper you have in play. Discard this if no one has any keepers. Yeah. So it just keeps going around and around and around until it lands with someone with no keepers.
Right. And there's a couple of those in the deck that are
Flood.
There's Flood, there's Forest Fire, there's Drought, I believe. Mm-hmm. And one of the things I love about Nature Fluxx is it really does teach you about nature.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of rules and a lot going on and a lot of back and forth. But in the end, you know, especially gathering the different food webs, there's the gold cards may have food webs or maybe all mammals or maybe like photosynthesis where you have to have sunshine and leaves. It teaches you through game. And we do a lot of that here. We do a lot of game schooling. Because it sticks. When you're enjoying something, it's going to stick. What is your favorite thing about this game?
My favorite thing is probably the rule cards.
Why is that?
Because some of the rule cards can make it very hard to play, or some of the rule cards can make it very easy to play.
And you never know what's going to happen, do you?
You never know what's going to happen.
That's right. And what do you think you've learned most by playing this?
Probably how things correlate to each other.
That's true. These Fluxx games are fantastic. They actually have several, and we have 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
So we may at some point review one of the others because these are ones that are constantly being asked to play because it's no 2 games are the same. You know, Monopoly and Life and things of that nature. Granted, we play those a lot, but if you've played Monopoly, you've played Monopoly. It sort of goes, in the same things. Fluxx, every time we play it, it's like a brand new game.
Mm-hmm.
Because the rules are different, the goals are different, the cards are different. It's mad craziness for about half an hour. Usually we average about half hour, 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've had some quicker, we've had some, take a hot minute to finish. But yes, Nature Fluxx. It does teach about nature in a very easy. Now, let me caveat that this does not replace a curriculum. This by itself will not teach everything you need to know about nature, but it is a fantastic addition to any sort of nature study because it really does give loads of helpful information. It's kind of like the ocean bingo, which we've done a review. I don't know where it's going to fall in the line, so it may be one right behind it, or it may be one coming up soon. We did a review on ocean bingo, and in it, I talk about how you learn so much about oceans, and we used it during our ocean study. It wasn't for our ocean study, it was during. The same thing with Nature Fluxx. It's a fantastic game to assist you in learning more about nature. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts?
No.
All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. Go check out this game. And if you have any ideas on games that we should review next, not just games, but products, tools, anything of the like, be sure to leave a comment down below or just send me a message. We would love to hear from you. And until next time,
Bye.
we'll see you later.